Anger is fire. It burns hot, it consumes, it destroys, and if we are not careful, it turns us into something we do not recognize. How many friendships, careers, even lives have been wrecked in a single flash of rage? Seneca wrote, "No plague has cost the human race more." Think about that. Not famine, not war. Anger, the ungoverned fire in our own chest. Here's the thing. We cannot stop anger from appearing, but we can stop it from ruling us. We can train ourselves to see anger for what it really is. Weakness disguised as strength. Chaos dressed up as justice. The Stoics did not just write about this, they lived it. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while facing betrayal, war, and personal tragedy. And yet he reminded himself daily, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. So let's break this down. 6 rules, simple to understand, brutal to practice. If we take them seriously, we can put the fire back under control. Rule 1. Buy time before you react. Epictetus said, "If you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your integrity." Anger is often our way of demanding the world behave as we wish. The first step is to pause. Do not strike back immediately. Bite down on the words you want to spit out. Step outside, count to 10, go silent. Seneca warned that anger is brief insanity. Give it space and watch it pass. Time is your ally. The first wave is always the most dangerous. This rule may sound simple, but it is a battlefield. The pause is not passive, it is active resistance. Imagine a Roman general holding back his troops until the exact right moment, knowing that charging too soon means disaster. That is what you are doing when you pause. You are holding back the charge of your own emotions, refusing to let them dictate the outcome. Even Marcus Aurelius would remind himself to take this inner breath before he sat in judgment of others. Each pause buys clarity, and clarity is the beginning of mastery. Rule 2. Reframe the offense. Marcus Aurelius told himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Most anger is built on the illusion that something has been stolen from us. Respect, fairness, control. But we can't lose what we never truly owned. People will insult, betray, disappoint. That is their nature. Reframe the moment. This is not an attack, but an opportunity to practice virtue. We are not victims of the world, we are students of it. Think about the last time someone insulted you. You had 2 choices, to flare up or to turn inward and study the feeling. Seneca advised that insults say more about the insult than the insulted. When we frame, we disarm the attack. The words lose their sting because we decide they cannot touch our peace. This is the mental judo of Stoicism, using the force of the offense to strengthen ourselves instead of letting it knock us down. Reframing is not weakness, it is the height of self-command. Rule 3. Lower your expectations of others. Harsh? Maybe, but necessary. Marcus began his meditations by listing every kind of person he would meet that day. The ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful. He was not being cynical, he was preparing. When we expect people to act perfectly, we set ourselves up for rage when they inevitably fail. Better meet the world with clear eyes. Yes, someone will cut us off in traffic, someone will lie, someone will be cruel. Why be surprised when humans act like humans? This rule is about armor. The Stoics put it on every morning. Imagine Marcus, Emperor of Rome, walking into the Senate, already reminding himself that some men would flatter him, others would conspire against him, and still others would try to provoke him. He expected it, so he was not shocked. And when you are not shocked, you are not shaken. By lowering expectations, we are not surrendering hope for humanity. We are freeing ourselves from the tyranny of disappointment. Rule 4. Turn the gaze inward. This is the hardest rule. The Stoics insisted that we examine our own role before blaming others. Epictetus would say, when someone irritates you, Realize that it is your own opinion which has irritated you. Our anger is never purely about the other person. It is also about our ego, our attachment, our pride. Ask, why does this hurt so much? What expectation of mine was broken? This is brutal honesty, but it is the only way to grow. If we do not face ourselves, we will stay chained to the same reactions forever. Seneca described anger as something that begins as a whisper in the soul, a choice, not a command. If we look closely, we will see that most of our fury is tied to our belief that we deserved something better, better treatment, better respect, a better outcome. But the universe never signed a contract with us. To turn the gaze inward is to confront this reality head-on. It is painful, but liberating. We stop pointing the finger outward and start reshaping the only thing truly under our control, ourselves. Rule 5. Use anger as fuel, not poison. The Stoics did not say we must be passive. There are injustices that demand action, but action born from fury usually makes things worse. Channel the energy. Turn it into a disciplined motion. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best way to avenge yourself is not to become like the wrongdoer. Direct the fire toward improvement, toward the building, toward justice without hatred. Anger becomes destructive only when it drives without guidance." Think of Cato the Younger, the Roman Stoic who resisted Caesar's dictatorship. He was angry at injustice, deeply angry, but his actions were deliberate, measured, strategic. He fought tyranny without becoming tyrannical himself. This is what we must do. Hold on to the heat, but cool the hand that wields it. Anger can be a sword, but in an untrained hand it cuts everyone, including us. Our task is to forge that sword into a tool to turn rage into righteous resolve. Rule 6. Remember the smallness of life. This is where Stoicism becomes almost cosmic. Picture the stars, the centuries, the endless generations before you. Marcus wrote, "Consider how ephemeral and mean all mortal things are." Most of what enrages us will mean nothing in a week, nothing in a year, and less than nothing when we are gone. We are just arguing with dust. Keep death close in mind, and suddenly the insult, the betrayal, the petty offense loses its teeth. Seneca wrote entire essays urging us to meditate on death, not to frighten us, but to free us. When we see how little time we have, we stop wasting it on pointless quarrels. Imagine standing at the edge of your own life, looking back. Would you be proud of the hours spent screaming, stewing, plotting revenge? Or would you wish you had spent that time creating, loving, living? Memento mori, remember you must die, is not a morbid thought. It is a compass pointing to what actually matters. The Stoics were not cold men. They felt deeply, but they refused to let destructive emotions run their lives. This is not about suppressing anger. It is about mastering it, about taking back our power from the very thing that claims to give us power. Anger promises strength, but it delivers chains. Every time we pause instead of lashing out, we break one of those chains. Every time we examine ourselves instead of cursing the world, we forge discipline. Every time we act with reason instead of rage, we build a life we are proud to live. The fire will always be there, but with these 6 rules, we hold the torch. It no longer burns us. And that, as the Stoics would remind us, is the only victory that truly matters.